Hello and welcome to the last class of our chakra series. If you haven't seen the other classes, I'll leave a link up above so that you can go and check them out. I hope that these have been really helpful, especially for busy parents, busy mums to fit some yoga into your life, because I know how difficult that can be, as I am also in that position. So thank you so much for joining me throughout this, and let's get on the mat. Okay, so to start with today, we're actually going to come down onto our backs. So slowly lower down, lay your spine nice and flat, and hug the knees in. Hug the knees in nice and tight. And then loosen them off a bit, grab hold of your knees, and keeping your knees together, just make little circles. So it's like we're massaging the low spine here, the top of the pelvis. Just make little circles, go one way and then go the other. And just notice if there's a particular spot that feels good. Maybe you stay there and kind of work on that area. But just rolling your knees around. Giving the low back a little bit of love today. And then placing the left foot down on the ground. Let's bring the right ankle across the left knee. And then using your right hand, just push that right knee away for a second. Push it away. And then maybe grab hold behind the left thigh. Now, if this feels too much, you can just leave that foot on the ground and keep pushing that knee away. That's fine. If you can, grab hold of the thigh and just pull that shape in towards you. So you should be feeling a nice stretch somewhere around the bum, the top of the legs, the hips. Everybody will be feeling this in a different place depending on where you're tight. So just bring that shape in until you feel a slight stretch and just hold it there. And throughout this class, just make sure that you're focusing on your breath. So focusing on the inhale and the exhale. If you find at any point that your mind starts wandering off and thinking about, I don't know, household chores or what you're going to cook or what your kids are doing, don't. Bring your attention back to your breath. Just give yourself these couple of minutes to just completely focus on you. Loosen that off, bring your left leg back to the ground if you had it up, uncross the right leg, place that on the ground, lift your left leg up, left foot crosses over the right knee, and again use your left hand just to push that left leg away. So other side, you can either stay here or you can bring that shape more towards you and grab behind your right thigh, and again hold here. And just notice if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. It's completely normal if it does, by the way. We're not normally equal both sides, even though we try to be. Make sure that you're breathing. Make sure you're not tensing your jaw. I like to flex my feet here, but it doesn't really matter what you want to do. If you flex your feet, you are going to be feeling it slightly more. And then placing your right foot back on the ground. Left foot goes on the ground. Just take a moment here to breathe. And then bending both the knees up, grab behind the thighs, tuck the chin, round the back, and just rock and roll. So rock forward and backwards until you come all the way up to a seated position, and then just tap your toes to the ground. Okay, so you're pointing your toes touching the ground. You should already find that your core muscles are turned on here. Bring the arms out in line with the knees, and then see if you can lean back, lengthen the spine, maybe lift the legs up, come into your boat pose. So feel the core turn on here. Feel them stomach muscles, reach long, maybe look towards your toes. Hold it here just for a moment. Focus on your breath, inhale and exhale. And then cross your ankles, bring them down to the ground, roll forward onto all fours. You may need to shuffle back if you've ended up at the top of your mat like me. So from all fours, you're going to leave your hips above your knees, take your hands out nice and long, and then drop your chest down to the ground. Looking towards the top of your mat, towards your thumbs. Try to keep your elbows off the mat. Sink your chest. Really breathe into the chest. Every exhale, see if you can get it that little bit lower. Hair in my face, so I can't see the next pose. Come on, dolphin. And then coming back up, bring them hands in. Sit back on your heels for a second. Okay, lean forward, tuck the toes, sit back onto your heels. This might feel quite a lot for the toes here. You're gonna grab hold of your ankles, so grab the backs of your ankles. I'm gonna turn slightly this way so you can see. And we're gonna open the chest, look up, take a big inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna lift the pelvis and push it forward. So we've come into our camel pose. Push your pelvis forward as much as you can. Breathe into it here. You can drop your neck back behind. Personally, I don't like doing that. I feel like it's too much on my neck, but completely up to you. And then bring your hips back. Come back to seated. If this feels too much, just uncross, untuck your toes. That's the word. Untuck your toes. Just take a moment. I'm going to do that again. So you can just, if you want to take this in an easier variation, you can just bring the hands behind you, tent the fingers, and lift the hips up. You're not going to come as far, but might be a little bit more accessible to some people. So tuck your toes. If you're going to come into the full camel, grab hold of your ankles, open the chest, look up, take a big inhale. As you exhale, push the hips forward. Make sure that you can breathe here. Really focus on trying to get a really long inhale and exhale. Push them hips forward. Bring the bum back. Lean forward, untuck the toes. And rest for a second. Okay. Let's bring the forearms down to the ground. So the elbows are down to the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees backwards, tuck your toes. Come into your dolphin pose. So it's like downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. So tuck the toes, bring the hips up. Try to push your chest backwards. So like we do in our downward facing dog, you're trying to push your chest to your thighs and your bum to the sky. Maybe walk your feet in slightly. Try to get your shoulders to open here. This is a really big shoulder stretch. You're pushing your chest backwards toward your knees. Make sure you're breathing. And then lower the knees. Sit back onto your heels for a second. Now you can end the class here, but what I would really recommend is you join me for Savasana. So if you have time, this is the most beneficial things that you can do for your yoga practice. So I would really recommend it. Coming down to lie on your back. You're going to take the legs out long. Let the feet flop open. Arms come down by the sides. Maybe palms facing down, maybe palms facing up. Tuck the shoulder blades under slightly. Close down the eyes. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Nice big inhale. Let everything go. Come back to your natural breath. We're just going to take a quick body scan just to make sure that everything's nice and relaxed. So starting with the toes, just relax all the muscles in there. Moving up through the feet, the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, the pelvis and the bum, the stomach, the chest, the whole of the back, the shoulders, the arms, the hands and the fingers, softening all the muscles of the neck, the jaw, the cheekbones, the eyes and the forehead. Just let everything go. It's very rare that we get to sit in silence or lay in silence. And over time, our minds can become so busy that we actually forget how to. And when we practice this stillness in Savasana, it gives your body a chance to slow down, to breathe. And it's a great way to clear the mind. So just let everything go. And if you do find that your mind is wandering off, just bring your attention back to your breath. Focus on the inhale and exhale. We're not going to stay here too much longer. Just slowly start deepening the breath. Slowly wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Take a big stretch up overhead, make your body nice and long. And then slowly roll over onto one side and just pause here for a moment. So maybe curl yourself up. And slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Let's inhale, sweep the hands up above your head. Exhale, hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this chakra series. I really hope that you can feel the benefits, the calmness, the de-stressing, and you have these classes to come back to whenever you need them. So don't forget to subscribe. It really does help to support me. Like this video. Let me know in the comments below which class was your favorite. So which chakra did you feel the most? I would love to know. Don't forget you can subscribe to my free What is Yoga mini course. I'm going to leave all the details down below, so go and check them out, and I will see you next time. Namaste.